Welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Job. I'm Ron Worley.
And I'm Josh Fullenweider.
Fuck your job.
All right, so some interesting stuff in the news lately.
Yeah.
About businesses. So we did a little bit of research, trying to come up with some cool things to talk about. Mm-hmm. And you found an interesting one, and I found an interesting one.
Yeah.
Let's hear yours first.
Well, I got a couple, but
you got a couple.
My favorite one was just on the news today, and that is Louis Vuitton is now selling monogrammed weights and jump ropes and workout equipment. We looked it up, and it was in European measurements, so it was kilograms versus pounds. But 3 kilogram dumbbell set. So you get two little, they're about 5 pounds each, 2 little dumbbells, $2,800. I could buy a big home gym for $2,800.
Oh yeah, easily. In my head, I'm thinking, well, I've been wanting to buy a pair of Gucci shoes, and I can't do it because they're way overpriced. Mm-hmm. But it would be cool to own Gucci shoes.
Yeah,
that's what they're thriving on. Is it would be cool to own Versace weights. Yeah, and some dude in a penthouse in New York could probably afford something like that. But
a little. If you've got a few $100 million, $2,800 is nothing.
Right. But isn't it interesting that they launched this thing in the middle of the coronavirus?
Yeah.
When nobody's working
and everybody's at home.
Right. Oh. Smart.
They're like, oh, people are working out at home. This is a great time to launch a product.
Throw a couple little weights out there. See if we can snag some rich people to buy some crap.
But
no offense, Versace.
Yeah, I think I guess that goes down to the power of branding. Louis Vuitton, Versace, Gucci.
Absolutely.
They've spent a long time developing a high-class brand. I'm never going to buy that because I know that I can buy a Bowflex for less than that.
Right. And you could probably buy 28 of those out of Craigslist.
Yeah.
For the same price as two 5-pound weights.
Yeah.
And a rubber ball I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just silly.
Yeah, if you've got some money to blow, go right ahead. If not, I've got some investments that you could put it into.
Yeah, let's make 5,000 overnight, please.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money.
And I know they're not going for somebody like me, and they're spending their money on the marketing, and they're definitely high quality weights. They're not putting out crap and putting a monogram on it. But, the one, I think it's Louis Vuitton. It's one of those designer brands. The reason you never catch their stuff on the off the rack sales is they destroy it rather than sell it at a discount.
Right.
You can only buy current season stuff, and after that it's destroyed.
Yep. Smart. And that's so that you can't ever get their stuff on discount, right? Yeah.
It'd be like a home builder being like, you can never sell this home used.
Oh yeah, you're done. After you're done living here,
we're going to demo it and build a new one.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think is bizarre, but it's working and it's keeping their value up. Mm-hmm. So absolutely,
if you own a Gucci or a Versace or what's that? Not Coach. What's the?
Yeah,
is it Coach? Coach is high, but probably. I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
Purses.
Yeah.
Jeez. So, and tell me about your last one. Well, I want to talk about the one I have last because it's fun.
What was the other one I sent you? I can't even remember. I got so hung up on Louis Vuitton this morning.
Yeah, that was just silly. I can't remember either.
Let me grab my phone.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I'll look at my notes and then
Josh will actually post these links up so you can read the articles because it's pretty interesting some of the stats these guys have and what they've done.
Oh, that's what it was. The DoorDash deal. Okay, so this one came out I think about a month ago, but it just started circulating a little bit more often on the web. But a pizzeria owner essentially figured out how to game DoorDash. And DoorDash, though, is not known for playing very nice. According to the article, they're owned by SoftBank, which is a big investment company out of Asia. I think think it's China, might be.
Great.
Yeah.
More China influence.
Yeah, but anyway, they've got a ton of money. They invest in a lot of different things. They're not a bank, even though they're called SoftBank. But anyway, DoorDash is known for, I hate to use this term, but strong-arming small restaurants into using them for their delivery services.
Oh, wow.
So they will go out and start a delivery service for a restaurant without them really knowing about it. So you go and Google that restaurant, it comes up as a delivery option. DoorDash comes to your restaurant, picks it up, delivers it. You don't really know. So this guy started getting negative reviews about the delivery service that he was providing, and he didn't have a delivery service.
Oh.
So he goes on, figures out what DoorDash is doing, and then realizes that also that they're paying too little for it. So his $24 pizzas were $16 on DoorDash.
Oh my God.
And it's a DoorDash gimmick to get people to realize that they can get a deal on DoorDash versus going to the restaurant.
Right.
So they invest in that. So anyway, he starts ordering his own pizzas off of DoorDash and getting them delivered to himself and to his friends because he can make an $8 spread on each order, which is better than the profit he has on the pizza in the first place. If you don't know a lot about restaurants, their margins are very thin.
Under 20 sometimes.
Yeah, under 10 sometimes.
Yeah.
And here he's making a 30% spread just by ordering his own stuff.
That's insane.
So DoorDash is literally paying him $24 for a pizza that he's giving them $16 for.
Oh my gosh.
So good for him, but I guess I have a problem with that blatant of a money losing. What's it called? Like when you price something low to attract customers first. Loss leader. Thank you.
Yeah, that's so shame on DoorDash. Good for him to get his money back.
Yeah.
I think that's just another attack on small business, small business.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me started on China, but if they're owned by, we'll probably be out. We probably won't have this show anymore. We'll be banned from Facebook and YouTube and everything for saying anything about China.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're a big corporation and they can just put their thumb on people and squish them. And unfortunately, in America, that's what we're up against. Mm-hmm. I remember when I owned Max Muscle in Fort Collins, they tried to get into CSU, and we got in to the local, the little convenience store there.
Okay.
And we had products in there, and people were buying them, and it was really, really cool because the kids were all the way across town, and they couldn't afford to drive. They didn't have cars and stuff to drive all the way across town a half hour to get to us. Mm-hmm. So it was a great little place to have our products, and then we were working on the football team and trying to get in there, and Coke came in. Because Coke is their biggest sponsor, and they came out with a protein at the time. I don't even think they still have it out. But they just put their thumb on us. Within days of
You're out of the
finding out, we were out of the grocery store, out of the whole campus, not allowed.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
how do you can't compete with that?
You can't. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and it's just about growing your own brand in any way you can to be large enough to fuck them back. That's...
Well, and I know you guys had a lot of success with Max Muscle because you developed your own brand out there.
Well, we what we did is we went to the cheerleaders instead. Cheerleaders are always hungry. They have no money. They always travel, and nobody gives a rat's. And so
they're not getting money under the table from teams that want to.
But guess what they do? They rah everything. And so here they had Max Muscle all over them, and they would go to games with Max Muscle, and the football players got really jealous and started to complain. It didn't do any good. Coke was not going to let us in, but we sure were still on campus and with the people who rah-rahed the brand the most. And
that's a great way of working around it.
Worked right around it. And we were invited to all the campus events, and just like as if we were with the football team.
Okay.
So we were at everything. Dorm day, when they all moved into their dorms, we were there handing out our product. So, You just got to work around them until you're large enough to be strong enough. And sounds like DoorDash is pretty damn big now, and this guy's got a workaround. So if you're listening, you own a restaurant, see if you have a workaround. That would be fun to just,
Apparently DoorDash is willing to just throw money your way.
That's so stupid, dude.
Well, and I don't know if you've noticed this a lot, but of course we're in strange times now with the pandemic, but a lot of restaurants that didn't have delivery options were obviously relied on DoorDash, Grubhub for a while there, and then they've started rolling out their own delivery options. Here locally, Chick-fil-A now delivers. And when the pandemic first came down, they said, hey, check out our Grubhub options. And then all of a sudden now they're delivering themselves. So.
Great.
Yeah. I have an order. I have a hard time paying for something that I can go get myself, so.
Of course you do, Josh. There is no convenience in your life.
I got the time, and I'm cheap, and I won't.
We need to get you less time, dude. This is killing me. Erin and I were talking about that last night. She's like, Josh is a lot like me, and I'm like, yes, he is. I'm constantly wanting to be frivolous, and Josh is constantly reeling it back.
Yeah.
It's a good team.
Yeah.
So I found one online, and I believe, what was that? It was out of Bogota, maybe? No. Colombia. Thank you. I can just pull it up here because I sent it to you. So it's interesting during the coronavirus how some companies have actually turned things around and made money while, I mean, the liquor sales, the pot sales in Colorado, those things have spiked.
Yeah.
Our crime rate has even gone up because people are getting drunk and high and staying home and beating their wives, but the amount of people in jail has gone down.
Yeah, the assault rate's up. I'm wondering though if burglary and theft have gone down because there's no empty homes to break into.
I'm pretty sure you're right. So this company in Bogota actually sells dildos, right? They're, for lack of a better, sex toys. It's
sex toys, broader, but we just wanted to highlight the penis on the back of the wall here.
We call them dildos. So they have actually grown, within 4 days of the lockdown, they grew 50% on their sales. Mm-hmm. So they basically doubled their sales, or almost doubled their sales. I don't think that math works out, but anyways, it's a large deal. And now they're 70% higher overall. So they're really killing it by selling a bunch of dildos.
Well, people are at home and they're bored.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you should do some editing where you can get something to vibrate on the screen. Because it's humorous. Now, I don't know if this is everywhere in America, but I can imagine that there's lots of people at home having more sex, and we're going to have more babies, and we're going to...
Yeah.
Right? Because you're bored.
I mean, from the very beginning, we've been joking about corona babies.
Right.
So, yeah, in 9 months, there's probably going to be a little spike in... bless you.
Corona.
Yes. Don't breathe on me. Yeah, in 9 months, there's probably going to be a spike in births at hospitals and everything like that, assuming people will go back to hospitals.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They're like, no, I'm going to do the at-home birth.
So this Bali sex store in Medellin, sales are up 140%.
Yeah.
Sex toys.
Yeah.
I wish I would have pivoted into some sex toys.
Right.
There's still time.
But they're doing it online. I mean, that's the thing is, if you owned a porn shop that had toys in it, you probably wouldn't see the upturn.
Right.
You know, it's because they're already online and they already had an established brand that made sense. And if I were them, I would probably put some more money into online advertising. One, it's super cheap right now because all the big players have pulled back, and so the costs of online advertising have just dropped dramatically. Really? I guess. Yeah. I don't know where I was reading that, but it's super cheap to advertise right now on Facebook, Google, that sort of thing.
The problem with advertising on Google is that they can decide to stop advertising because they don't believe in what you do.
Like sex toys and bail bonds?
Right. So they dropped bail bonds last year, and we no longer can advertise on there. But they dropped oil. They no longer do any analytics for oil or AI for oil.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining that sex toys would be on there because as socialist as our government is becoming, you're not supposed to have fun.
Well, there's actually a movement out there called Free the Internet.
Yeah.
So what you see on the internet is not the entirety of the internet.
Right.
Because you're seeing it through the lens of your Googles and your Facebooks and these companies that essentially act as gatekeepers, and they get to determine, and unfortunately a lot of them determine it with a little bit of nudge from the government as to what you can see.
Right.
So.
And they can take your shit down.
Yeah.
So, quick story about Ron Morley, just because we're on sex toys, and then I want to talk about.
I don't want to hear about your sex toy store.
I actually used to make and sell glass dildos.
You used to blow glass?
No.
No. Okay. Well,
I don't blow anything, my friend.
No, but I know I knew a guy and he used to blow glass, like legit.
So on HBO they had a thing about glass dildos, and you can wash them, and they heat cold. They're very heat cold sensitive, so it makes it more fun. Blah blah.
Easier
blah.
to sanitize.
Yes. So I saw this on HBO, and I went to a friend who blows glass, and he made them for me, and I had them in a container.
He used to blow your dildos for you?
Yeah, he used to blow my dildos. Yep. Yeah, so that was a fun little snippet that I never put time into, and it never worked, but I had a case full of dildos that I would carry around to parties and stuff. I was young, so I was still partying, but
no, I haven't heard, like, you're not the first person that I've heard do that.
I was the first person at the time to do it.
Well, that's because you're old. But about 10 years ago, one of Rebecca's coworkers got into blowing glass, and then all of a sudden somebody approached him and asked him to make a glass dildo for him. And he's like, I don't want to know that you do that. You know?
Can you imagine the ones you can make? Just like a weird bubble over here and a weird bubble over there. Okay, anyway, so I digress. What was the last thing I wanted? Oh, the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So I also found out that I had an idea, and I went to a friend who does code and stuff, and he knows a lot about it. So in order for Facebook to have become Facebook, they had to have a host site. Okay. A lot of these hosting sites that host, and now I'm sure Facebook is its own.
Yeah, they've got their own servers now. Yeah.
A lot of them are also cutting off the propaganda, or not the propaganda. They're cutting off anything conservative, anything opposite of what they think. Whether you're conservative or Democrat, we don't really care on this show, but stifling free speech is, I would assume, both of our values. It's just fucking horrible. Yeah. So
if you guys haven't figured it out, our title is "Fuck Your Job."
Right.
We're pretty much proponents of free speech.
Right. And that is one of the things. So I can't even start this idea I have, which I know it would be huge. But if I tell you, then it might. I don't know if it would even happen then, because it's bad luck. When I tell you, we have to fucking do it, and I'm out of time.
That's the way I am.
So, but the idea would never make the light of day because of the big players, number one, but number two, because they would just buy out the hosting site and crush anybody that, and they stop you. They just yank your shit.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if our viewers really understand it, but a hosting service, pretty much all the websites and everything are stored on servers, which are computer drives elsewhere, and when you go on the internet, that's what you're accessing, is those computer drives and servers that are elsewhere.
Right.
So one of the big examples of this is Netflix doesn't own, well, they might own now, but for the longest time Netflix used Amazon for all their hosting services. Everybody knows Amazon from, online shopping, but Amazon has so many different business units, and one of them is server hosting. So they've got massive banks of servers dedicated to Netflix.
Wow. So I think so we need anybody out there who knows a hosting service that would not stifle free speech. Let me know. Cannot be bought out by Google, cannot be bought out by Amazon. Free speech, 100%. Let us know. You'll help us get rich.
Yeah. So. Well, that's all I got for this one.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was good to talk to you guys again. That was a fun episode, Josh.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with another idea.
Another
Still
thing
trying
to
to
talk
get
about.
into the feedlot.
Yeah.
Join us on Facebook at the Jobless Legion or subscribe to our YouTube channel and like, comment, and share.
So that we can get the message out to aspiring entrepreneurs just like you.
Thank you.